Well, we have some exciting news for you. I'm Marcus LeVake. This is Johnny Hastings at Haggerty's Music, and this is the new 700 series Taylor guitars. Traditionally, the 700 series has been known for rosewood back and sides and a lute spruce top, and it's not a very big separation price point wise to an 800 series. So what Taylor ended up doing is eliminating the 700 series as we know it and launching a new version of Koa. And so you just heard the grand concert in Johnny's hands. I've got the grand auditorium. And these guitars, if you notice, they have a satin finish unlike the K24 and K22 series. And one of the things that they're doing with this is a totally different finish than those other Koa series have. So we want to highlight that in this video and kind of talk about some of the differences in these guitars. When they eliminate the traditional finish that they have, they went to a water-based finish, which is great, and they didn't use any pore filler in it, so that's going to fundamentally affect the sound from the K22 and the K24 that you normally see. And it ends up with a very satin finish, which looks really similar to the Builder's Edition. And I just spent a little bit of time, we were playing these guitars back and forth. I think they sound really similar, they feel really similar, but you can get that satin Koa look at a little bit less of a price point in a fantastic guitar. So one of the reasons they did this is because when you cut down a Koa tree, not all of them are really flamed and very beautiful like this one behind us. And so this wood, it's a little bit more rare, and when you have a tree that has really great solid Koa, but it's just not as flamed and it's not as figured, you still want to be able to do something with it, right? Taylor's all about sustainability, using the woods that they have and what's available to them. So they decided to just launch it as a new series where they can take the woods that maybe aren't the most flamed, but it's still a really great wood, and produce an entire line of guitars. And then they dressed it up a little bit. I really like this. So the pick guards on these, where you normally would see an ebony pick guard, it's a dark stained piece of flame maple, which really highlights that wood. It's beautiful. They used a little bit of maple in the rosette and abalone inlays. A very, very simple fingerboard, which is just pretty in its simplicity. And the entire series will come with these copper tuners. Both the Grand Concert and this Grand Auditorium have those. So it's the same tuner that you'll see on a traditional Taylor guitar, just in the color copper. Johnny, why don't you go ahead and
switch them?
Yeah. Go ahead and play the exact same thing on top of the Builder's Edition. Really similar sounding guitars, and the nice thing is, I love the Koa Builder's Edition. The Go to 510 tuners, the scalloped cutaway, the beveled edge armrest, the chamfered edges. I love everything about this guitar, but it does put that at a price point that is a little bit higher, and so to be able to offer a full Koa sound, the satin look, the satin feel, at a little bit more accessible price point, I think it's just a wonderful thing. So now let's hear a back-to-back between the Grand Auditorium and the Grand Concert with that same lick.
Definitely louder.
You think that was louder than the Builders?
I think it is, yeah. Maybe it's because of that satin finish.
Pore filler,
Yeah.
water-based finish. It really feels like a very thin finish that's just You can feel the guitar a little bit
Yeah.
more through it, I feel like.
Definitely.
I don't know. Let's see what this one does. So fundamentally between the two, of course, size, but this body shape, if you remember, is basically to make every string the same volume. And so maybe when you go back, listen to that, this does have a little bit more bass presence in the room. This is a little bit more even. We did raise the action actually a little bit on this one so we could get just a little bit more volume out of it. These things come so well set up that maybe if you're a really hard picker, you want to slacken the truss rod a little bit, give it some more action, which that's what this one has right now.